The serpent, through his lie, deceived the woman, causing her to die. This is that devil who was a murderer and a liar from the beginning. And Jesus says he was the father of those Jews who were making of none effect his father's words by their traditions of men, thereby deceiving the people. Here the seed of the serpent is defined by Jesus as men who are deceived by the evil imaginations of their heart. If the seed of the serpent are men, then the forefather must have been man, and the temptation of the woman in the Garden of Eden was the drawing away of her own desire and being seduced. However, it pleased God to designate this as a serpent. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals. Jesus said to his followers, "Be as wise as serpents, but harmless as doves." Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16. It is well known that serpents, reptiles, possess no particular intelligence to imitate. The nature of the curse pronounced is suggestive of something more than mere serpent life and intellect. So the serpent, as used by the Lord, is a figure of speech and symbolizes ungodly men. Also the curse upon the serpent was that dust shalt thou eat, Genesis chapter 3 verse 14, and dust shall be the serpent's meat, Isaiah chapter 65 verse 25. This is in keeping with God's statement to Adam, "Dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return." The reward meat of obedience is life, while the reward meat of disobedience is death. Dust. Adam and Eve had no way of knowing what death was. They had not experienced it. The wicked thought in Eve's mind, art, related to Adam's instructions, deceived her, and it was recorded in the Bible as a conversation between a serpent and the woman. It was the same with Jesus. He had thoughts of temptation in his mind, art, relating to his Father's word. However, he was not deceived by them, nor was he drawn away by the lust, desire, to use that great power given him at his baptism for personal satisfaction and gain. So by one man's disobedience sin entered the world, and death by sin. So also one man's obedience, life, has been made sure unto many. We may conclude that the serpent is a symbol of cunning and crafty deceit in the heart of man. So when a man becomes as a child and receives instructions by the word of the Lord, and his thoughts are those of the Spirit, then the cunning and crafty deceit and disobedience, the serpent, that old devil, and Satan are crushed and put to death by the spirit of obedience. Of course, we, men, can do nothing of ourselves, but God gives us the victory through Jesus, who accomplished the work perfectly.